10th class English model question paper. Section A. Section B. Reading comprehension. Passage 1. Okay, this is passage 1. By reading this passage 1, we are going to answer these 5 questions. Likewise, passage 2. Like that, we are going to practice from passage 1 to passage see here up to passage 12. We are going to practice all this. So let's start. Passage 1. Read the following passage carefully. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers wrapped in a certain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. It is really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. This is from a letter to God. Now read this. Read these questions and answer. Now answer the following questions. What did the man hope for when the hailstorm began? So let's see the answer. He hoped the storm would pass quickly. What he thought? He hoped the storm would pass quickly. See, every question you'll get from these only answers. Okay, so read paragraph thoroughly and then answer the following questions. So first question, what did the man hope for when the hailstorm began? Answer, he hoped the storm would pass quickly. Pass quickly is the answer. How did the boys react to the hailstones falling? Answer, they ran out to collect the frozen pearls. See, here it is there now. The boys, exposing themselves to rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. So, every answer you can get from this paragraph. Third question. What initially pleased the man before the hailstorm? So, you can see here the given options A, B, C. But answer is A. The sight of ripe corn and flowers in the field. This is the right answer. Okay. How did the man describe the hailstones? Here it is also A, B, C, the given options. We need to choose one. So answer is as silver coins. Okay. And fifth question. Fifth question is for how long did the hailstone continue? Fifth question. How long did the hailstone continue? Options are given, but answer is B. 1 hour. Okay. 1 hour. Passage 2. Read the following passage carefully. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled, went to town at the post office. He placed the stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. But almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter." Starting up a correspondence with God. This paragraph is from a letter to God. Now answer the following questions. First question: what did the man write on the envelope before mailing the letter? Answer: he wrote to God on the envelope. What he wrote? To God. Second one: how did the postmaster react after seeing the letter? Answer: he laughed initially but then turned serious, admiring the man's faith. Third question: what did the man do after writing the letter? Answer: option B. He mailed the letter at the post office. Fourth question: how did the postman feel when he saw the letter addressed to God? Option B is the right answer. He was amused and laughed. Amused means something funny. Fifth question: what did the postmaster admire about the man who wrote the letter? So, option B is the right answer. His faith. Passage 3. Read the following passage carefully. Immediately, Lenko went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he made to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, "God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks." Lenko. Passage is also from A Letter to God. Let's answer this question. Now answer the following questions. First question: what did Lenko ask for when he went up to the window? Answer: he asked for paper and ink. Second one: why did Lenko say not to send the money through the mail? Answer: because he believed the post office employees were a bunch of crooks. A bunch of crooks. Third question: how did Lenko attach the stamp to the envelope? Answer: option B. By licking it and pressing it with a blow of his fist. Fourth question: how much money did Lenko claim he received? Option B is right answer. 70 pesos. Fifth question: what did Lenko imply about the post office employees in his letter? Answer is option B. Passage 4. Read the following passage carefully. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have seen men stand up to attacks and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. No one is born hating. another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Even in the grimmest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and give me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. This paragraph is from Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Now answer the following questions. First question, from whom did the narrator learn the meaning of courage? Answer, from his comrades in struggle. Second question, according to the narrator, what can people be taught if they can learn to hate? Answer, they can be taught to love. Third question, what is courage according to the passage? Option B, triumph over fear. Fourth question, what did the narrator observe in the prison guards that helped him keep going? Option B is the right answer, humanity. Fifth question, according to the narrator, what is man's goodness compared to? Option B, a flame. Passage 5. Read the following passage carefully. In life, every man has twin obligations obligations to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children. And he has an obligation to his people, his community, his country. In his civil and human society, each man is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own inclinations and abilities. But in a country like South Africa, it was almost impossible for a man of my birth and color to fulfill both of those obligations. In South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family and his home and was forced to live a life apart. It will at existence of secrecy and rebellion. I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family. But in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was prevented from fulfilling my obligations as a son, a brother, a father, and a husband. This paragraph is from. Now answer the following questions. First question, what are the twin obligations every man has in life according to the passage? Answer, obligations to his family and his people, community, and country. Second question, why was it almost impossible for a man of color in South Africa to fulfill both obligations? Answer, because a man of color was punished and isolated for trying to live as a human being and fulfill his duty to his people. Third question, who is the speaker of the above passage? Option B, Nelson Mandela. Fourth question, according to the passage, what happened to a man of color in South Africa who tried to fulfill his duty to his people? Option C, he was punished and isolated. Fifth question, in the passage, how did the author feel about placing his people above his family initially? Option B, he did not choose it at first. Passage 6. Read the following passage carefully. I was not born with hunger to be free. I was born free, free in every way that I could know. Free to run in the fields near my mother's hut, free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village, free to roast meals under the stars and ride the boat backs of slow moving bulls. As long as I obeyed my father and abided by the customs of my tribe, I was not troubled by the laws of man or God. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. At first, as a student, I wanted freedom only for myself. The transitory freedoms of being able to stay out at night, read what I pleased, and go where I chose. Later, as a young man in Johannesburg, I yearned for the basic and honorable freedoms of achieving my potential, of earning my keep, of marrying and having a family. The freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life. This paragraph is from Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Now answer the following questions. First question: where was the speaker free to swim during his boyhood? Answer: in the clear stream that ran through his village. Second question: what realization made the speaker begin to hunger for freedom? Answer: realizing that his boyhood freedom was an illusion and his freedom had been taken. Third question: what activities did the speaker enjoy as child? Option B is right. Running in fields, swimming in streams, and roasting meals. Fourth question: what did the speaker initially desire as a student? Option C: the freedom to stay out at night, read, and go where he pleased. Fifth question: in his youth, what did the speaker yearn for in Johannesburg? Option A: to live a lawful life without obstruction. Passage 7. Read the following passage carefully. But when I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free, I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone who looked like I did. That is when I joined the African National Congress, and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people. It was this desire for the freedom of my people to live their lives with dignity and self respect that animated my life, that transformed a frightened young man into a bold one, that drove a law abiding attorney to become a criminal, that turned a family loving husband into a man without a home, that forced a life loving man to live like a monk. I am no more virtuous or self sacrificing than the next man. But I found that I could not even enjoy the poor and limited freedoms I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. This passage is from Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Now answer the following questions. First question: why did the speaker join the African National Congress? Answer: to fight for the freedom of his people. Second question: what did the speaker realize about freedom? Answer: that freedom is indivisible and that the chains on one person are chains on all. Third question: what transformed the speaker from a frightened young man into a bold one? Option B is right. His desire for his people's freedom. Fourth question: what effect did the speaker's hunger for freedom have on his life? Option A: it led him to live like a monk. Fifth question: according to the speaker, how is freedom described? Option C: as indivisible and shared by everyone. Passage 8. Read the following passage carefully. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flop his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge, where he slept at night, even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away. He failed to muster up courage to take that plunge, which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him stray on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. This passage is from two stories about flying. His first flight. Now answer the following questions. First question, why did the young seagull not fly with his siblings? Answer, he was afraid that his wings would not support him. Second question, how did the young seagull's parents try to encourage him to fly? Answer, they called him shrilly, upbraided him, and threatened to let him stray if he did not fly. Third question, what was the young seagull afraid of when he approached the brink of the lurch? Your answer is C. That his wings would not support him. Fourth question, who had already flown away the day before? Option B. The young seagull's brothers and sister. Fifth question, what did the young seagull do instead of flying? Option A. He hid in a hole under the ledge.